Today we're comparing two shotgun microphones from Deity microphones that are from the same range. This one over here is the Deity S-Mic 2, and this one, the shorter one over here, is the Deity S-Mic 2S. Now I should say that when I'm doing this test, this is ahead of me doing the durability test for the Deity S-Mic 2, so I have not put this mic through the test yet. We've traveled back in time because I figured it probably wouldn't be a very good idea to compare a mic against another mic that's already been through a durability test. Probably not the most accurate sounding results. But if you're watching this video right now, that durability test video is probably already live, so go watch it if you haven't already, because I don't think it's every single day we get to do these kind of things to a microphone. Kicking off with price, the bigger brother, the S-Mic 2, is priced at $359, while the smaller 2S is priced at $319, so it's only a $40 price difference between these two microphones, which is not massive, so I don't think that price is going to be a major deciding factor when choosing between these two microphones. However, if you are trying to save as much cash as you can when picking out either one of these microphones, then hopefully these upcoming sound comparisons might help you decide whether or not that $40 is worth saving. Now, when both of these microphones are pointed directly on axis, like right now, they both actually sound incredibly similar. So I'm just gonna keep switching between these two microphones while I talk you through this recording setup right here. So I've got these two microphones mounted, one's on a C stand, one's on a mic stand, but they are both equidistant from my mouth, and they are going into my computer's audio interface, which is an Apogee Quartet, and it's being recorded inside Logic Pro 10. And generally speaking, when recording indoors, shorter microphones like the S-Mic 2S are preferred over the longer microphones due to how they handle reverb better. Now, I'm not an expert on the topic, but right now we are recording in a rather reverberant environment. My studio has a very tall ceiling, so it's actually quite reverby in here. It's definitely a bit of reverb. It's definitely a bit of reverb. And when we take things off axis, I think that's when we really start to realize a bigger difference between these two microphones. So I'm going to do that right now by stepping aside. So I'm now talking about 45 degrees off axis into the microphones. And I also imagine that the signal is a lot weaker now, but from my initial tests, I discovered that the shorter 2S is a bit more forgiving when it comes to off-axis pickup when compared to the longer S-Mic 2, which does make sense. The longer interference tube probably is making it a bit more directional. But that's what they both sound like off-axis. Now let's see how well they reject noise coming off-axis when you're recording on-axis. And to do that, I'm going to play a video on my iPad at full volume and place it down on the couch in front of me. So right now I'm talking over my iPad, talking over myself, and this is how it responds to off-axis pickup. It's a bit difficult to do this part of the test because me talking on the iPad while I'm talking is quite distracting, but I'm just going to keep continuously talking so I can switch between these two microphones so you can actually listen to. This is so difficult. But I do think that in this case, the longer S-Mic 2 is performing significantly better than the S-Mic 2S when it comes to rejecting noise that is coming off axis. And that brings us to the biggest difference between these two microphones. One is much longer, one is quite a bit shorter. In fact, the S-Mic 2 is actually just over 10 centimeters longer than the S-Mic 2S. That is a very, very significant difference. The 2S is also way lighter than the S-Mic 2 by about 113 grams. That is a difference that you are definitely going to notice. The difference in weight weighs more than the actual weight of the S-Mic 2S itself. And in terms of how hot of a signal these two mics are able to output, that's how strong the signal is when you plug them into a recorder. I have both of these mics set to the exact same gain settings, and I don't think there is a difference in amplitude. So I would say both of these mics are equally hot. So that sums up a rather technical and quite possibly boring comparison of these two microphones, but hopefully there's someone out there watching this who is considering between these two microphones or wondering what's the difference between these two microphones. And since I have these two microphones sparkling new in front of me, I might as well do this comparison before I inflict some amount of damage to the S-Mic 2 in the upcoming durability test. So that is it for today. Do consider watching some of my other, hopefully less boring videos over here.